my name is Michał Madej. I am a creative director of Endwar Online. What is Endwar Online? Endwar Online is a spin-off of Endwar franchise. Why we did it? What's the vision of the game? So one of the most interesting parts of original Endwar was Theater of War, which was like a global PvP combat between different factions. And what was it lacking was actually enough players to make it really massive. So we believe that here with browser technology, especially with Flash plugin, which is right now default for almost all PCs, we can remove all those barriers for people to join the game. So we may create this critical mass of people. So eventually it can be really like global war in online war. So this is about the vision. What about the game? So as you can see, it runs in the browser. The game happens 10 years after original Endwar event, so it's like 2030, so it's slightly in the future. And as you can see, the Earth is destroyed. So I will jump directly to our headquarters. Wait a second. So I will jump directly to our headquarters, and the game has several gameplay layers. The first one is because the world destroyed the factions. I'm playing European faction, so wait a second, it's caching. Yeah, it's an online game, so you see lots of streaming there. So I play European faction. So my headquarters is in Paris, the same very city where right now, but in this game the city is destroyed. As you may see, the Eiffel Tower, beautiful tower behind the window, in the game is destroyed. So your first task in the game is to rebuild and upgrade your headquarters. You see, like, you can slowly rebuild it. So at the beginning of the game it looks like this, later it will be completely restored. And as you rebuild, you access new powers, new abilities, new possibilities. For example, you will be able to research, you will be able to craft, you will increase your economy of your country, of your faction. But what's most important, you will be able to manage your army here. So as a commander-in-chief in the game, your main goal is to recruit, is to train, is to level up heroes. This is one of the main differences from original Endwar. In original Endwar, we had generals, something similar, but generals, they had their own battle groups. It was more like a set of units, and there was no flexibility. You were choosing which general you use in a battle, but not what unit you can use. Here we have separate heroes. Every hero comes with a totally different unit. We have altogether 9 classes, 9 different kinds of heroes. So we have tanks, we have helicopters, we have anti-aircraft vehicles, we have infantry, we have artillery, we have drones, airstrike, transport, and fighters. So 9 completely different behaviors, 9 totally different applications in the battle. And additionally, in all those classes, even in the one class, you will have several heroes. Altogether, it will be like 40 heroes during the launch of the game. And those heroes, they have absolutely different units. They look different, but also they have different abilities. So as you level them up, you will access new abilities. They have ability trees with completely different abilities and different use in the battle. So on top of it, we have a very deep MMORPG system, like itemization system. So you see, like, we have slots. In each of those slots, we can put different items. We have different quality of items. So we have, like, typical rare epic items. So they give us different parameters. So we have a very deep customization where you can customize your units and heroes as much as you can. And as well, there is a story background. So all those heroes have their unique context linked with them. So this is what we have about our heroes, and I will show you how you can use them in the battle. So the second layer of the game. The second layer of the game is our PvE campaign. So as I enter PvE campaign, you will see how the world looks like. So I'm playing European faction. So my PvE campaign is about reuniting European Union. You can imagine that after 10 years of war, those factions are so exhausted that actually they shatter apart into smaller, like for example Europe, probably countries. So your goal is to unite European Union again by force, but for example in America you will have states that claimed independence, like Texas or California, that become like separate countries. So in every faction, your PvE campaign will be how to unite a faction again into one big country. So in every campaign, you have 10 chapters. Every chapter has 5 different missions. So each of the mission has about 10 battles. So if you calculate quickly, it's 500 battles in just playthrough for the whole campaign. And additionally, there's a huge replay value for all those battles. So I will show you how. Okay, I will start. What happened? Okay, I will start the mission. I will replay the first mission. So still, I am at the first battle, and let's fight. So as I start the battle, I have to choose my hero. So see, here is where I select heroes. I have all those heroes recruited. I will select like basic heroes, and I will start the battle. So here we have probably the biggest difference from original Endwar. Original Endwar was typical RTS game. In our game, we had to change it because we have completely different market. I mean, we enter browser space. People don't play half an hour. One browser session. They need to play like 3 minutes or 4 minutes, so we had to make it shorter. We had to make it more simple to control as well, because we have different controls. We don't have all those controls in AAAs. So as you can see, we have, this is our camp. Here is enemy base. Our goal is to destroy the enemy base. We have roads that lead from one to another, so units will move on those roads. And as you can see, we have tanks incoming from enemy base. So I will deploy helicopters, because this is the main gameplay element, is to deploy units that counter enemy units. So helicopters are units that destroy tanks. Tanks destroy anti-aircraft vehicles. Anti-aircraft vehicles destroy helicopters. So it's like a triangle, rock, paper, and scissors. So here we have helicopters. They approach tanks. So another element is, like you see, when they join combat, I have like special abilities I can use. So all those units, they have abilities like make them move faster, or I don't know, increase their power of attack. So in order to use those abilities, I need command points. So here is the list of command points. They regenerate, but I have only 3 command points. So I can get more command points by capturing uplinks. This is an uplink here. It's another element from original Endwar. And here's my infantry. I will make them move faster. So once I capture an uplink, I get another command point. I can as well deploy more units, and in general, I'm getting stronger. So there is this tactical element. Infantry is not a powerful unit. I mean, they will die fighting with almost any other unit, but they have a very special use on the battlefield, and they can bring a lot of advantage. They're very important units. So even with this very simple set of units, we have like very different possibilities to shape the battle to play. So okay, I am finishing here. So this is the enemy base. I will destroy those helicopters, and it will be probably the end of this battle. So here I can attack enemy base. I can finish him faster right now, because he cannot defend himself. So I finished. As I win, I get different amount of points. It's like a score for the battle. Oh, you see, like I did it perfectly. So I got the highest possible loot, because based on your score, based how well you play, you can get better items. And of course, you get also like random items, so you have a chance to get better and better items. So it's another typical MMORPG element of playing battles, replaying battles to get epic items, to get better equipment, to get better materials. So all those elements that you have in MMORPGs. So this was more or less about our PvE content. As I said, like 10 chapters, 5 missions each, so like almost 500 battles. But this is not the most important part of the game. So we believe that our game actually shines here. It's our PvP mode. So what makes our game totally different from any other RTS is that we have a persistent world. We have a world that is there all the time, and a world in which factions fight for control of certain territory. So it's a typical like Cold War scenario. So we are not attacking America directly. We're not attacking Russia directly. We're fighting for influence on the earth. We are fighting for control of contested areas. So we have like conflicts, for example, in Norway, like here in Caucasus, in Korea or in Mexico, for example. So all those conflicts, they are sometimes open and closed. So you can fight in those conflicts, and when the conflict is finished, the faction that is winning is gaining control of this territory for next, let's say, period of time, like 1 week, 2 weeks. And once you control this territory, you can harvest resources from it. So like Norway is very rich in oil, so you can get the oil from there. And so this is how we think that PvP will work. Like, it's not about individual leaderboards only. It's mostly about like faction effort. So you have to organize yourself, because if you fight on all fronts, you see, like if there's like 10 conflicts and you fight in all conflicts, you will spread your forces thin and you will lose everywhere. So faction have to decide, okay, this day we're fighting in Norway, we'll win Norway, and let's say give up Alaska this day. Maybe next day we can win it. So it's all about coordination. So there's like a macro management that we believe will animate our community, and it's one of the strongest part of the promise that we bring.